Hi everyone, this is Debbie at Color Everywhere, and this morning I want to show the second doll that I was making for Time for Art Hop, the last one, which was the middle of August. And I wanted to finish this doll, plus I still have my steampunk fairy that is not quite done yet. So I'm trying to get these done before I start anything else, but here it is at the end of the month. I have another project I have to start on, and so at least I wanted to show this one, um, a little bit of process on this doll, and then I will have to just finish them as I have time. So the first doll was a steampunk fairy, and I will show her also. They're both made from the same pattern, but made differently as far as their costuming and their hair and everything. So I still have not named this one. I am going to come up with a name for her, and she is going to go to the beauty shop and get her hair done, so it won't be sticking out. But she is a fully clothed doll. Um, the clothes are stitched to her body, and so she is fully costumed. Okay, so I have a little bit left to do on her, which will get finished. And then the second doll that I started on the hop is this one. I wanted her to be her clothes to be painted on, and so I used the airbrush to paint her clothes using inks and some paints, and then I stenciled and I did some drawing with a paint pen, and then here are her legs. You can see they're pretty long. Both of these dolls are about 2 feet tall. They have very long limbs. Here's the other one, and of course they don't match. That's what I wanted. So she's already dressed. All I really have left to do that I have to do for her is to attach her legs. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now her arms I sewed on. So they do not adjust this way, but you know they can be posed, and I think I'm probably going to go ahead and do some stitching on the arms so that her arms will stay in some position. I'm not sure yet. But for right now, I'm just going to pin these arms out of the way so they're not flopping around while I'm working on the legs. So I'm just going to pin it into her body. It doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt her at all. But because I'm using knits, I am being a little bit more careful with how I pin it, so I don't snag anything really bad. So I'm just pinning them up, getting them out of the way because I got to work on this section down here. Her hands are not finished yet. I'm trying to decide if I want her nose to be red. Now, I didn't really start out for her to be a clown doll. I had more in mind like Circus Soleil or something like that, you know, kind of a doll. But she just told me that she wanted to be a clown doll. So that's what she is. I just kind of listened to that, and here she is. And I think I'm going to do a little bit more up on her bodice and what have you. So the way I'm doing, now bear with me because this is long. It's hard to get in the picture. So what I'm going to do is her legs are going to be jointed. That way she can sit down or stand up. And I'm just doing a simple joint with buttons. I've already threaded my needle, and I need to make a big knot. So I'm going to start here. The leg is going to go on like this so that it will turn. So I'm going to start about here and just make a stitch a good anchor stitch here. I'm just stitching through a couple times and making a knot because I for sure don't want that to come loose. I just have a little thread, some threads there, cut that off. Okay, so now I have to determine, it really doesn't make any difference because these legs are the same. So I think we're going to go about like this. That looks about right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin these so that they're anchored, making sure the foot's going in the right direction, of course. I'm going to pin these so they're anchored down so they'll stay in the right place. There's one. Now I can match this one. Make sure the leg's going in the right direction. Looks about right. Hi, Angie. How you doing? Just doing a quick stream on putting this doll together. I've been so busy here lately that I haven't had time to do much, so I thought I'd get this out while I can. Now I'm going to try to go straight through. I want my thread to go straight through like this. No, Angie, go right ahead. All right, so now she got frog legs. So then, once I get untangled here, let's see if everything's still straight. And I'm going to pin these legs together too, because it just keeps them from flopping around. Keeps everything straight. Question is how. Once I put the paint on there, it makes it a little bit, hi Debbie, makes it a little bit, where's those long pins? Stiffer, so it's harder to get needles through. So that's, you know. And it should probably do it. Okay, now let's see if she looks straight. I have to hold it up where I can see it. I think she looks pretty straight. You're not making yo-yos? Why not? Okay, so now my thread is coming out here. So I'm going to, here's my button. I'm using these big buttons. They could have been small buttons. They could be covered buttons, any kind of button. So I'm just going to go right back really close to the same spot. And I should be using a bigger needle. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, I have to change. I have to put a bigger needle on here because I wasn't thinking about it. This needle won't go all the way through there. I'll never get it out the other side. So let me change needles real quick. And where are the needles? I'll be right back. Okay, here's some needles. Now we got some needles, what I'm talking about here. That one ought to be long enough. So, take this one off. This one on. What are you working on, Angie? If you're not making yo-yos. All right, try this again. Now, I'm going to come this way, then go back. And I'm keeping this even straight with the side seam. I don't want to put it up here someplace. I want to keep it straight with the side seam. Now, close your eyes. This might be scary. now I'm going to come out the other side if I can. Trying to make sure my needle is going straight through. Sorry, lady, I got your leg hiked up, but you'll be all right. Now let me see if that looks straight. I think it looks pretty straight. So now I've taken my thread and I've gone all the way through the middle and come out the other side. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on this side with this button. And I feel like I'm going crooked, but I think I'm okay. Then I'm going to go back to the other side. And I'm trying to stay pretty close. If you can see inside there, I'm trying to stay pretty close to the thread that that I had already come through with. Because if you don't, you won't be able to, yeah, that's close. You won't be able to turn the leg. It'll just, you know, be like stitched in place, sort of. Oops. So it's a little fiddly, but it's not difficult. All right, now let's see what we got. I'm using a double thread to make it stronger. And now let's get rid of some of these pins. So you see the buttons on the side, but I used a pretty color so that, you know. Okay, so now, see, this should be able to turn like that. So now she's a little bit more flexible. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with the spacing on that. Now I'm going to see if I can get through one more time. And knot it on the other side. So right back through there. And this time I'm not going to come out on this pin, on this button. I'm going to try to go underneath right here. She's so long-legged, it's hard to maneuver. Now, let me see. Is that as tight as I wanted or too tight? Or I think that's fine. So I'm going to knot this. Try to. She's almost done. For the most part. I mean, I can always add more. I think I'm still going to add some eyelashes on her. And maybe a little glitter here and there, something. Ah, come on. There. Okay. Now I can just bury my thread. Oh, you got your printer messed up? I tell you, we got this new computer security system, and everything went crazy when we got that. It wasn't the system's fault. It was our internet provider. It was they couldn't figure anything out. So we ended up getting Spectrum. So now we've got wired internet. Okay, there you go, girly girl. How's that feel? So there she is. I don't think I could pull out any farther. Let me see if I can. Maybe I can. Oh, yeah. Okay. There she is. Isn't she long? There's a front. So she still has a lot of room. I can do a lot of things. I can embroider on her. I could, I'm going to take this back up so that light's not. I don't think I need that light. So, you know, like I said, I could still do a lot of things to her. And thanks, Debbie. She could use some knee action here. I don't know. I'm just gonna, because my gosh, she's so tall. Let me see exactly how big she is. 25 inches. Woo, girl, you're a tall girl. So she can sit up. See, I could do some stitching around her knee that would make her knees bend more. But I think she's okay because I like the way she sits. She'll sit up. And I think that will be all right. So, still trying to decide. Hi, Becky. I'm still trying to decide if I want to make her nose red. And I do want to do some more stuff on her. So let me get these pins and things out of the way. And maybe I'll take a few minutes and do a few things with her. I haven't come up with a name for her yet. I'm thinking about Sparkles, but I'm not sure about that. I'm in the name choosing saga right now. We just found out we're probably getting our new puppy Christmas or New Year's. And so I'm, you know, going through the naming process because I start thinking about it now. It takes me forever. So far, we've come up with Heidi, but she'll be a Yorkshire. She'll be a miniature Schnauzer, which we already have one. Her name is Isabella, and we were kind of trying to pick something more German because, you know, that's where Schnauzers originally came from. So I don't know. My husband has always liked Heidi. In fact, he liked the movie Heidi so much. He's not a big movie person, but he really liked Heidi. So when my granddaughter was little, he insisted that she call him grandfather, and she still does. So that's kind of unusual nowadays for someone to call their grandparent by that, you know, longer name. But she calls him grandfather. Of course, when she was little, she couldn't say it. So it was Ganfada. And then when she got to be about 10, she decided she was going to shorten it. So she called him Ganfer. I don't know where that came from, but she calls him grandfather. Hilda. Bella. See, we're trying to get something that doesn't sound too much alike. Hilda sounds kind of like Bella, but Angie, Angie, do you have this color hair? Well, that hair took forever to put on. Oh yeah, she's got to have some eyebrows too. I should do that right now while I'm thinking about it because I keep forgetting. Eyebrows. I like Hilda. My favorite teacher's name was Hilda Kaufman. My husband went through the school system from the very beginning, and I came in my junior year to the same school system. And he had her for kindergarten. She was his kindergarten teacher and his senior English teacher. But, you know, I didn't get to know her until my junior year. So she was just one of my favorite teachers. She passed away a while back. Now I better use a pencil because I'm afraid I'm going to mess this up. I better look at this first. Okay, young lady. Here, you're getting your, she's an acrobat, so she can do this. Yeah, mine does. Mine looks like that most of the day, Angie. Not that color, but I didn't miss anybody, did I? Let's see here. Debbie, Angie, Becky. Okay, looks like we're all here. Okay, so let me see what I can do about eyebrows. I don't want them very big. That looks okay. So I'm going to use a pit pen for this. She's going to have little bitty eyebrows. Why her eyeshadow eyeliner? Oh, that's what's missing too, is her eyeshadow. I just haven't been working on hardly anything. Well, I did come down and I finally took the time to set up my new Cameo, which I got back in March. And I really like it. I've had a Cricut since they came out. The bigger one since it came out. And I've always done a lot of my own designs and stuff. But I am finding that so far, I really like the way the silhouette's working. So that's good because, you know, I still have the other one, but you never know. Now, what am I going to use? Paint pen, I think is what I need. Paint pen. Where's the paint pen? So since her clothes are painted on her, that makes things a lot easier. The other one, most of the time was spent working on her clothes because I designed them and, you know, had to make little patterns and everything to go on her. But this one, see, I still think I want to fix her arms. I know what I want to do on here, but I'm not going to do. I want to do spirals on her boobs, but I think that'll probably not look too good. But that's what I wanted to do. Not sure what I want to put on her. They're not doing anything until I decide. It's always the best thing. I did want to cover up a couple of threads that are showing. You know, she'd look like one of those Viking ladies with those big things on their, those big, what do you call them? Shields or something. I don't know what they're called. My pen's not ready. Find a different one. Hi, Janet. Thank you. Yeah, I thought about that too. Debbie, I might just do that. Think it should be black lace or white or some other color. Lord knows I got a lot of lace. Can't get away from a Keisha sale without getting lace, that's for sure. Catches me every time. Every time, as my husband's aunt used to say. You do that every time. She was a little intellectually challenged, but she was something. Okay, now I need to do her hands. So I'm gonna do her hands. And then I'm gonna look for some lace. That's exactly right, Aunt Beck. That's kind of what I had in my mind. Let me see if I have any lace I want to use. I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. Still think it's a good idea. Nope. Like some rickrack. Who was the only woman to cross the Niagara Gorge? Oh. Spelterini. Spelterini. Marie Spelterini. Speltrini. Marie Speltrini. Well, she could be called Marie. Oh, there's one idea. Now where's the... I just reorganized again, so everything's not where I think it should be. I have to think about it. I have big lace, big black lace. And some yellow, too big. I don't know, I might end up using that, using this rickrack, or just doing it freehand. I think I'll do this freehand. So the other thing I have managed to get some work done on is some items I'm going to have for sale on my website before long. And so that's been quite the chore, but yeah, it'll get on there eventually. It's no hurry. And it's stuff that I already had made, so it didn't take me any time for that. Spelterina. Spelterina. I didn't know that. So anything else exciting going on today? I haven't even looked to see who was streaming or anything. I just had time, so I came on. My little channel isn't going to affect anybody, so I don't worry about it too much. Where's my thing? can just make her some lace. Guess I'm going to have to put this on. Well, I don't have to, but I started to say I'm going to have to put this on the back too, but I don't really have to. You know, I was trying to make her face a little prettier than the other doll, but I don't think I got it in me because she didn't turn out any better. But she makes a good clown. And I like the color of her hair really well. It's bleeding a little bit. I had at one point thought I wanted to do some doodling on her, but I've just kind of run out of time for now. I have another project I need to start working on. And it's something I don't know how to do, so I'll be learning. Oh, there's my granddaughter sending me a message. It's probably a picture of her cat. That's what she sends me all the time. One of the cats. She sends me pictures of both cats all the time. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. There, I like that. Some fake lace. I found a Sharpie. I want to say it's a Sharpie gel pen. I think it's what it is. I love it. Oh wait, maybe I have it here. Is this it? Yeah, it's called a S gel. Sharpie S gel. I really like the way it writes. That's not the same one, is it, Deb? This poor gal, she has no boobs. I feel sorry for her. Maybe she needs a little help. Okay, now. I think that's what I'm going to do for that. Hi, Sherry. Nice to see you. I'm just playing with this doll. Move this back out so it's not so glary. I have to figure out a new, oh wait, maybe this will. a little better. I have to figure out a new lighting system. It's one of those things that's going to take a little bit of time and trials. Anytime I have something that's white or light tan like this skin, I just have an awful time getting it to show up. And I'm sure it has something to do with the exposure or white settings. I forget what they're called. And all that, which I don't know that much about. So I need to study up a little bit and see what I actually need to do. There's plenty of light in here, but I think it's just not the right kind of light, or I don't have my exposure settings set correctly or something. So I just need to take the time and figure it out. Sharpie pen, huh? Okay, what am I missing? Her hands, that's what I said I needed to do. All right, let's get this out of the way. I had my nails done, whenever it was, last week. I decided to try a new style, usually my nails are a lot more pointy than this. So, and you can't even see the design on there. There's a design on this one. But this time I got them squared off, so I'm trying to get used to that. I've worn them the other way for so long that now it's like something's missing. I guess I used them for tools more than I realized. Now, $6 too much for a handmade table runner. I don't think so, Angie, but it would depend on, what it is, of course, and what it's made of. And are you making it from, what do you call them? Those little things that you make? I can't think of the name. I'm done with my other needle. I swear I stuck that needle in here a while ago, but I don't see it. Of course, I'm half blind, so that might be the problem. Let's see if I can use this one. I'll probably do good, Angie. Okay. Come on, girl, your legs are just way too long. Get them babies up around your head. Oh, my word. All right, now. Drew the lines on for the fingers. It just makes it easier to keep it fairly even. Whenever you're doing something like this, it's never going to be exact because, you know, you can't get the stuffing exact. And sorry, I had to look at my phone for a second. You can never get the stuffing exact. Your fabric, you get it close to what you're doing, you know, the size of the fabric, but you could overstuff it or understuff it, or you might stretch it too much or something. So, you know, it's all kind of a toss up sometimes. So I draw the lines on, that helps a little bit. And when I'm doing this, I want to go straight through from front to back. Same thing on the back side. I could have drawn the lines on the back too, but I didn't. And what I'm doing is I'm sort of doing a back stitch all the way up through the middle of this hand. And I'm sure you can't see it very well because, like I said, the lighting. But that's what I'm doing. Thanks, Sherry. I've had fun making them, but I'm ready to go on to something different because I've really been working on these dolls for 6 weeks, I guess. It's that long because I got in a little late in the game for the hop last time because, you know, that was my first one. I didn't know when everybody else knew what the subject was, so I was a little bit behind to start with. But yeah, I've probably been working on them for about 6 weeks, and I'm ready to work on something new. But I want to get them finished. I do not know what I'm going to do with them once they're finished. Because I really don't have any place to keep them. My space is I have a big space, but it's still limited as to things like this. Excuse me. Oh, I wanted to show you this other little doll that I did a long time ago. I'm going to get it. It's a lot smaller, and it was for a swap. And I made two and kept one for myself. And I think that the subject, I don't have this so close now. I think that the subject was, if I can remember correctly, it's been a long time, but I think it was, we had to use clay. It was to be a doll. We had to use clay. And I can't remember what else. That might have been all. Might have been all. Let me show you what she's about. Okay, honey, you get over there for a minute. So here's her. Or here she is, I should say. And she's been around, let me tell you. What year was this? I thought it told 2000. This is from Y2K. So here she is. Her body is made out of I can think what the word is, suede wallpaper. I actually still have some of this wallpaper. The checks were stamped on with the background stamp, and then the gold part is glue. Not glue, is paint. So I wanted her to look like she's dancing around. Now I have not had her helmet off, her hat off. I've not had it off almost probably since 2000. Here's her back. She's got these little things on her helmet. That's what her back looks like. And this hair is, I want to say it's not fur. It's, I think it's just regular doll hair, like wool roving or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't remember what it is, but it's, you know, it feels like hair. So on her belt, there's a key, and it says the key. Right in the corner where you are. That's the key. So that's wired around her waist. And she has a little key, a little bitty key around her neck on a wire, which is kind of mucked up. And then her helmet comes off. Hopefully it comes off. Let's see if we can get it off. Oh, maybe I glued this one on. I think I did. The other one isn't glued. The one that I sent to the lady was not glued on, so you could actually take it off. This one I think I kind of remember that because it has a crack right here, and I glued it on, and that's about to come off. But anyway, there she is. She's been hanging on the wall. And I don't know what I got because I must not have saved it when I got in trade. And this helmet is made out of polymer clay, and it's stitched together around the edges so it would go over her head. These pieces are made out of pieces of CD that were cut in strips and wrapped with wire and then dipped in embossing powder and melted. And these are made out of polymer clay, all these pieces. All right, so that's her. I meant to show that before, and I totally forgot about her. So anyway, that was her, and she's been hanging around forever. She's a little bit smaller than this gal. Thanks, Janet. So when I get to the end of the fingers, I go around the end so it looks like it's rounded. My husband just traded his truck, and that is a big production. I don't know how I get involved in it, but I do. So I just got the running boards put on it yesterday, or the step, whatever you call it. I'm so glad because he's been having to put a box down for me to climb up in the truck. It's really a nice truck. His other one was really nice too, but he decided he needed to change, so there you go. So between getting the new truck, the truck saga, that's what I call it, he's in truck saga mode. Oh yeah, Sherry. You know what? I find ventriloquist dummies very creepy. I never did. And the same thing with some clowns now. I don't even like when those scary clown movies came out and they show the previews. I don't watch them. For some reason, it disturbs me. And I've never been like that, but yeah, ventriloquist dummies I just do not like at all. Now I don't mind the ones like the little girl did on America's Got Talent or whatever that show is. I don't mind those. I don't like the old-fashioned ones like the Charlie McCarthy kind. They just creep me out. And I really think it's because of something I saw in Twilight Zone or somewhere one time. Because they never bothered me before. But I don't like them. I'm sure you can't even see this. Well, you know, I like all kinds of sci-fi and mystery and all that kind of stuff, but I don't like the like Chainsaw Massacre and all that kind of thing, or Nightmare on Elm Street, stuff like that. I like that less and less the older I get. I don't know why, but yeah, I don't tend to watch those when it's just violence for violence sake. I'd rather watch, if it's going to be a scary movie, I'd rather it be something psychological, you know. Oh, I don't even know how to explain that, but no, I don't like slasher movies, I guess is the way I'd say it. Hey, Sherry, I have a sock monkey doll kit. I don't know what you mean by. Hey, Siri. Did you hear that? I said Sherry, and my phone thought I said Siri. Anyway, Sherry, I have a sock monkey kit if you want to make one for your husband. Yes, Angie, I still have sock monkeys. Only one package is all I have left. I'm wondering if I should paint this doll's fingernails. Okay. I've been reading lately a lot of these, what are they called? Apocalyptic books, you know, like the virus has killed everybody or terrorists took over or whatever, and then the people have to figure out how they're going to survive. I think I've been reading too many of them because I've been thinking about asking my husband, don't you think we should put some food back or blah blah blah, just in case something happens? Oh. I'm so glad all this internet fixing stuff around here is over. Oh my word. So tired of messing with that. There's just too much going on. I'm used to just being home and being quiet and not having any visitors. I Can't believe we're getting another dog. Just what I need. But I think they'll keep each other company. Yeah, I think I'm going to put some sparkles on her. Somehow. And then I think she'll pretty much be done. Janet, are you still here? Janet might be at work. I think she works. I'm really proud of myself for finally getting my Cameo 4 set up. And first thing I tried on it was making tabs. Normally I use a lot of tabs, and I usually make them by hand. Well, I took the ones that I make by hand and I scanned them and made files out of them and printed them out, or not printed, cut them out on the silhouette. I'm so pleased with myself. I've been wanting to try it for a long time and I just haven't taken the time to do it. So I thought that would be a good trial. The Cameo 4 is like a Cricut, only it's by the Silhouette Company. You know what a Cricut is, Angie? Janet, I just want to tell you thank you so much for being my mod the other day. I really appreciated that. So thanks a lot. Janet's always so helpful to everybody. And I think sometimes it's appreciated, but sometimes it goes, nobody says. I just want to make sure you knew how much I appreciate it. Well, Debbie, I have had mine for quite a long time. My Cricut I've had for, I don't even know when I got it, but it's been a very long time. And when I bought it, the only reason I bought it, the only way I could justify it, was the fact that there was a third-party program that would allow me to use the Cricut without the cartridges. There was no way I would have bought that thing and spent $30 to $80 for one cartridge, even though they did contain a lot. It just is not. Most of the things I do are more self-designed, and it's nice to have things that are already designed, but most of my usage is things that I design myself. Now, one of the other reasons I got it to start with was to make shirts, t-shirts, and stuff like that, to cut out the designs for vinyl, and also other things like, oh, I don't know, signs and stuff like that, and even motorcycle vinyl, things like that. Well, Angie, I'll be happy to do what I can. I'm not an expert, but I use it for what I want, and otherwise I don't pay any attention to the stuff. But yeah, so that's why I originally got it. And I mean, I did graphics for my motorcycle. I've done graphics for a couple of cars, and things like that. Okay, her hands are done. Yay, she has fingers now. And then as far as the shirts go, my daughter now, that she didn't when I got the Cricut, obviously, but now she has a travel company. And for instance, we're going to Cancun, Mexico in October, and usually it's like 10 to 15 people that go in a group, and so I do shirts for them. Last year we designed the pattern, and then because it takes so long, to do the weeding and everything, we decided to send it off and get one of those iron-on, I call them iron-on transfers, but it's some kind of a screen print thing that then you iron it on. So it's supposed to be really good, and it had excellent reviews, and a couple of people I talked to really liked it. I followed the procedures exactly. I have a big heat press. So, it wasn't like I didn't have the equipment or anything. They looked beautiful when they came out. Well, after they were washed the first or second time, they're peeling off. So we just decided, the only reason we did that last year was a time savings thing. So I didn't have to do all the weeding because it was kind of intricate. But this time I'm doing it. So that was another reason I wanted to get my silhouette set up, my cameo set up, because I had to do all those, I have to do like 20 shirts. So I'm waiting for the vinyl to come down. I'm going to go ahead and get started on them. I think she's already ordered the shirts. So as soon as the vinyl gets here, I've already got the design loaded and everything. Everything's ready. And I'll be able to start on those. So that's going to be, gotta have that done by the 1st of October. Okay, so now the only thing, her neck looks kind of bare to me. I might have to put something on her neck. I'm not sure. I could do a charm. Like she's got a necklace on, I guess. I'll have to think about that. The other thing is I need to, let's try. I need to do some teeth, I think. Still trying to decide about that. Her mouth needs some more work on it, the paint. I don't think I'm going to put any more eyelashes on her. I have some real eyelashes, well, fake eyelashes, but I think I'm considering her as being done. What do y'all think? Does she look done? Here she is. I cannot see my screen. Here we go. Yep, they're pretty. That's one reason I didn't buy one, Sherry, for a long time, because my Cricut still works. There's nothing wrong with it at all. The only thing about it is if my program is so old that I use, oh, I didn't finish telling that story. The reason I bought that Cricut was so that I could use this third-party program. And with it, I don't have to, you have to have one cartridge in the machine. It could be the same one, can stay in there forever. And then you use the program and you can do whatever you want. You could use any font that's on your computer. And see, when I first bought this, nobody else, you couldn't do it. It wasn't like some of the programs that they have now with Silhouette and all that. So, you know, that was one of the reasons I bought it, so that I could design my own things. I could import whatever I wanted. It had a, the program had a, a trace program, so that, you know, I could use JPEGs or whatever that I had designed and make cutting files out of them, and so on and so forth. Well, the maker of Cricut didn't like that, because of course they were losing money, you know, on their, and the program cost about $70 at that time. And Cricut people didn't like that, so they ended up suing that company. And the upshot of it was that the makers of the program lost the suit. And so now they no longer support the program. So if the program goes down for any reason, and I can't move it to another computer, so it's on a laptop that it was originally on, and so on and so forth. You know, so if the program goes down, if the computer dies, whatever, then the only way I can use that Cricut machine is by going out and buying a bunch of cartridges, and I won't do that. So I swore the next time I bought a machine, that it would not be through that company. Now that's just, I was really upset about it. So I'm just going to keep using it, you know, until it dies. When either the computer dies, the program dies, or the machine dies. And it's still, you know, usable, but I can't sell it to somebody else because I don't think they can use it. So it sits over there and I use it occasionally. And so I decided, well, it's time. I wanted to, you know, to get this one. There have been enough changes made to the user programs that I thought it would be worth my while. And so far I'm really liking it. And it seems to be working really well. It's USB, I mean, not USB, it's Bluetooth, and that's working well. So I don't have any complaints about it yet. It does a lot of neat things that I think I can use. And I don't use it every day. Now I did yesterday. Yesterday I came down and used it all day. But normally I don't use it every day, so it sits there for a while and doesn't get used. But when I want it, I love it. So that's, you know, if you have the money and you have the reason to use the machine, then it's worth it. But if it's something that you hardly ever use, I don't think it is. You know, I don't think it's worth it. It has to be something that you use, and it's a very specific use. So you just have to take those things into consideration. Okay, I am going to say that this lovely lady is pretty much done. I have to wait for this paint to dry a little better, and then I'm going to go back and darken the color on her mouth. And but other than that, I like her. So there's doll number 2. Her head looks a little flat. She is a little big-headed, but that's okay. She's all right. So there she is. Well, yeah, Debbie, the old Cricut especially was with the if you have the knowledge to make your own designs, which I do have. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but I mean, you could buy the machine and never have to spend anything else on it. And you know, they're well made, so they work for a long time. Of course, you have to buy vinyl if you're going to cut vinyl, or paper if you're going to cut paper. But if you were making a design for cards, then you would be using that paper anyway. It's just something that makes it a lot easier to do. So that's my opinion on that. Okay, well, I think that's all I'm going to do for today. I'm not going to work on the other doll right now. And thanks for stopping by. And I think we're going to name her Marie. Marie, yeah. Crazy Marie. Haha, she's happy. Thank y'all for coming by. I appreciate it. I don't want to keep you here forever. So we will see you next time. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Oh, Angie, what's your question? Go ahead before I disconnect. Thanks, Sherry, and Debbie, and Janet. Angie, you still there? Well, maybe she left. So, okay, so I'm going to say bye again. Bye, 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 bye.